morning, Chairman, members of the committee. It's good to see you all. My name is Sarah Hunt-Blackwell. I'm Senior Policy Counsel at the ACLU of Georgia. I'm here testifying in opposition to Senate Bill 443 because of the increased penalty for obstruction of streets and highways from a simple misdemeanor to a high and aggravated misdemeanor. Although the text of this bill doesn't necessarily directly mention protest, it's fair to say that protest could be significantly impacted by this legislation. And protests can arise in a number of ways. So I think what as the bill sponsor said, there are protests that happen where you submit a permit application and the jurisdiction where you're protesting either approves the application or they don't, or they provide some feedback to that application asking you to make adjustments to it. So pre-planned protests are widely recognized as protected by First Amendment, and the United States Supreme Court has also made clear that spontaneous demonstrations are protected as well. So the concern that we have with this bill is when there are protests that come about as a result of a current event or some newsworthy item that happens, and the organizers of a protest don't necessarily have the time to go through the full process of submitting an application, getting the approval. They are responding to something in the immediate that has happened. And a lot of times what that protest looks like is being on sidewalks, being on streets, and sometimes being on the highway. And this spontaneous demonstration is protected by the First Amendment, similarly to the ways that lawfully permitted protests are protected by the First Amendment as well. So we think that there could be some unintended consequences here where really the only protest that becomes permissible by this bill is protests that are permitted and have received approval from jurisdictions. So we hope that this committee will be mindful of those concerns and remember that not all protests have the luxury or the convenience of going through the full process, which can often be lengthy, very time consuming, and sometimes expensive. So we ask that you please oppose this bill, or at the very least consider some amendments that would allow for spontaneous demonstration where streets and sidewalks could be obstructed. Thank you for your time. And